would it be like to think of your body not in terms of how it looks, but with the awe and respect it deserves for being a thinking, breathing, heart-pounding, disease-fighting miracle machine? Here is Salma Dinani. I am excited to have you here today, Salma. Thank you so much for being here today and being able to take your time to talk to me.
I'm excited to be here. I love chatting with you.
You have such a beautiful story behind you that I think I want a lot of people to know about. There is something, a lot of people that are listening to my podcast already know who you are. They know who you are. Most of them, I would say 90% of them, hey, it's Salma. We know who she is. We know what she's all about. But there's a majority that do not. So Salma, just introduce yourself, what you do, and where you're from.
Sure. Yeah, I'm Salma. I live here in Vancouver. I was born actually in Niagara Falls, but lived most of my life here with a 6-year stint in Winnipeg, of all places. Right now, I am a certified personal trainer. It is I would say like my third career, kind of. But I love it. I went back to school in 2018 to get certified because I just realized that my love of fitness and wellness was so much that I wanted to share it. So I wanted to be certified to share it. So that's where I'm at right now. I'm a mom. I have 2 kids, a 12-year-old, oh my gosh, and almost 10-year-old. I know, craziness. They just grow so fast. And yeah, I'm just all about sharing about fitness, wellness, and a big thing that's been a part of my life is body respect and body acceptance, which is a really hard thing, I know, for me and for a lot of women, especially moms out there. So I've incorporated that kind of in what I do when it comes to fitness and wellness.
I love that about you. I think this is the biggest reason why I brought you here is body image. We're all having a hard time with body, especially myself. I have it too. When I became a personal trainer, we practically became personal trainers at very similar times.
Yes,
right?
We went back to school at the same time.
it was actually pretty cool. I was actually following you a lot before, a lot of times before, and then a lot of people mentioned, "Oh, Selma's becoming a personal trainer too," and I'm like, "Who's Selma?" And then I'm like, "Oh, she's the right balance," because that's what you were at the time, right?
Yeah.
Can you tell me when did you actually start blogging? Like how long ago did you actually start doing all this before you became that personal trainer?
So back in 2012, actually, I was still living in Winnipeg and I was working at Breakfast Television. So that was my first career, was as a television producer, host, that sort of thing. That's what I went to school for. And we were living in Winnipeg and it felt a little lonely. Like I had a baby and a toddler and I felt really disconnected, and I decided to reconnect with my love of writing, because when I first did my journalism, it was about writing, not about television. I wanted to reconnect with my love of writing. I wanted to reconnect with other parents who are going through feeling the same way, because it can be really isolating and lonely to be a parent, especially when you have little ones, right? So I started a blog. I literally took out a book from the library called like Blogging for Dummies or something like that.
Yes.
And I created a free website. This is before The Right Balance. I was actually trying to think of the name and I can't even remember the name of what it was. It was like Real Life for Mom at Blogspot or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
So it was like a free site. So this was November 2012.
Wow.
And I was still in Winnipeg. And then we moved back here to Vancouver in January of 2013. And I connected, actually, there's a big blogging social media community of moms here in Vancouver. Mm-hmm. And I connected through them, and that's when I kind of revamped my site and I became The Right Balance, which is what you've known for the past, I think it's like 6-7 years. And that's how I started. It started as parenting and lifestyle. So it was about, I'd share recipes and DIYs and fun things to do with your kids and anything like anything with emotions when it had to do with kids and things like that. But since then, obviously now it's evolved, and I've realized that as my kids have gotten older, kind of what I enjoy doing has shifted, right? Fitness, wellness, health, like I love all of that. So it was kind of natural progression, becoming a personal trainer, then changing my site to reflect what I love to do now.
Absolutely amazing. Because when in 2012, I was going through a full-on depression and I was going through a miscarriage, and I didn't even be able to see all that information that you were doing. I just got to know you. I think it was probably when COVID, just a few years before COVID hit.
Yeah,
And
I think
that's
around
when,
2018, right, is when we
yeah,
connected.
that's right. And then I got to know you a little bit more, and I'm like, oh, I love her content. I love the stuff that she shares, and I was all about it, and I loved everything you were doing. So,
and we had that connection with your husband too, right? Like I knew him since
yes,
we were so young, because my mom and his mom were such good friends, right? So it's such a small world.
such a small world, right? So when you became that personal trainer and that person that motivates people about body weight and body image, give me an idea of a time when you had anyone talk to you about body image, or some kind of somewhere where there is some kind of competition, or us trying to, we are judging ourselves because of body image.
Oh yeah, it happens to me all the time. Like literally last week, this is last week, in my DMs, I had someone message me. She's doing my 28-day challenge, and she's like, what can I do about my thighs? She's like, they're so disgusting. She's like, what can I do? Or she said, they're so horrible. And I was like, and so when this comes to me, I have to pause before I say anything, because one, I can understand having negative thoughts about your body, because as much as I promote this, I still have insecurities about my body. I still have negative thoughts about my body. It happens. We're all human. Yeah. And we've lived our whole lives in this diet culture that says thin is all that matters, right? Thin, perfect bodies is all that matters. So so before I replied, I just thought about it, and then I responded to her. I'm like, oh, so what is it? Is it just, do you have problems like aches and pains, or is it just the way they look that you don't like? And she's like, yeah, they're just, they look so horrible. And what can I do about it? And I said, yeah, I understand that, it's tough to feel this way. I said, what about, I'm trying to think of my exact words. I said, what if we rethink this thing? Instead of thinking about how your thighs are gross, what do your legs do for you?
Yeah.
What can you do? They help you walk.
Mm-hmm.
You're doing all these workouts with your leg. They make you stronger. So I try and shift the view, and instead of what they look like, because when you think about it, what our bodies look like is really the least interesting thing about us, right? So maybe try and shift that to what does my body do for me, or what do my legs do for me, and try and appreciate what they do rather than how they look. So, that's all I can do, especially when you're with someone who just doesn't see outside of that box of what I look like, And the response probably wasn't like the greatest, right? Because they just want a solution. Like, how do I make my thighs thinner? How do I make the cellulite go away? And how do I do it? But that's not what I'm about. So I was just trying to switch the conversation, and hopefully maybe one day, I think maybe it'll click, maybe they'll realize, okay, I told her, think about all the things you can do, because she's at the end of the challenge. I'm like, look at how you were at the beginning, and look at all the amazing things you can do now at the end of 28 days. Yeah. Like, focus on that, not on what your thighs look like.
It's funny that you say that, because as a mom, though,
yeah,
we carry our child in our tummy. Yeah. And then once they're born and stuff, our tummy, some of us, I would say a majority of us, not all of us, you'll see it on media, you'll see it on magazines, you'll see them everywhere. And they have these beautiful women with the most beautiful body, and she has 3 children. And you're like, how is this possible? I have stretch marks above my belly button, all of it. And I think that's the worst thing I feel about myself, is that maybe a bit of my arms. Like, you get this thing about yourself and you just, I guess we're the worst critics of ourselves.
Oh,
I think
yeah,
that's the
of
biggest
course.
thing. And then we start to realize, what is it that we do love about our body? And what is it that we love about ourselves before we do the workouts, before we do the diets? Um, I guess for me, I'll give you a story about what I did. And it's the worst thing I ever did, but I did it. And I believe everyone does it. When I was at school, when we were doing the fitness journey at, I'm not going to tell you what gym it was at, but we went to the gym and I saw a personal trainer training someone, and that personal trainer was not fit at all. She was a lot bigger. And the first thing I did was judge. How can you be a personal trainer looking like that and train someone?
Yeah, you're not alone. I would have thought of that. I'm sure I've thought of that in the past too. Like, you're not alone.
And I think a lot of people do that. It's like,
Yeah.
we judge that personal trainer. They say they judge the book by its cover before they go. And it's the funny part is then later on, I found out that she had other issues and other underneath issues that she was working with. And she had this big, huge profile on Facebook and Instagram about how she was trying to lose her weight while she was helping clients do the same. And how beautiful is that? And here I am, that I judged her.
We've all done it. We've all done it, unfortunately. But it's true. Like, we all do it. That's just, until we learn, differently, that's what we do. And I think a majority of the people do that. But I also think that there's a change happening, a shift in social media, perceptions, all of that are realizing that, there's the body positivity movement, right? Accepting that health comes at every different size. You can't judge, like that whole cliche, you can't judge a book by its cover, like what you were talking about. That's there. You can't judge someone's fitness, wellness, anything by how they look. You just can't, because you don't know. You really don't know.
So if someone had to come to you and say, hey, Selma, I want to lose weight. I want to feel good about myself. I feel like crap. I don't like the way I look. I don't like my tummy. I don't like my hands. I don't like legs. How would you even talk to that person, or how would you tell? So
I think about this a lot, because I've really decided with my business, I don't want to focus on weight loss, because it's just not what I want to do. For me, I'm working on getting away from all that. So when I would never say, no, I'm not going to be your trainer, right? But what I would do is I would tell them, well, my specialty isn't weight loss or fat loss, but as a personal trainer, what I can help you do is I can help you feel better. I can help you get energized. I can help you get stronger. I can help you de-stress. I can help you feel happier. Okay, so these are the things that I can do for you to help you feel better. And then in the end, and I'm like, come, why don't you try it out? See how you feel. But in the end, if someone is just focused on how they look, as opposed to how they feel, the things that their body can do, I can always refer them to someone else who will do that, because it's just not something I want to do. I don't like the thought of it. Is just, I can't. It's almost like triggering for me, because I'm trying to move forward. And then I would have someone who's like, well, all I care about is losing weight.
Yeah.
And on top of that, it's actually working out every day is not how you're going to lose weight anyways. Losing weight is through your nutrition. And as a personal trainer, it is not in my scope of practice to supply you meal plans. So if that's your goal, I can always refer you to a dietitian or a nutritionist, because that's what's going to help you with the weight loss. I can help you with the other factors, getting your heart healthy, getting you stronger, getting you feeling good. So there's a couple different ways to go around it, but in the end, sometimes you just can't switch someone's mindset.
I love that. I love how you said that, because honestly speaking, I think everyone needs to hear that, right? It's not about your image. It's not about losing weight. It's about feeling good about who you are. This is why I love talking to you, because you always you always make me feel good. I have to always come back. I'm going to come back to this conversation every time just to keep reminding myself that, Nish, it's not about your tummy. You're not going to get that six pack that you really want. So just let it go. Enjoy yourself. Love yourself.
Yeah.
Be the way that you need to be. And just know that you're beautiful the way you are.
Yes. A six pack is just something that diet culture has told us that we need, you know, like why do we need a six pack? If you have a six pack, I bet you're unless you're like genetically predisposed to having very little body fat. If you have a six pack, you're probably miserable. You're probably hungry. Okay. Because you're not eating. To get to that low body fat, like, come on, you know, it's not like, especially for women, it's not sustainable.
It's not. You would have to work very hard for it. I remember a lot of those what are they? They're bodybuilding competitions.
Yeah.
They eat like 800 calories a day to get to where they want.
Yeah. And you know, women like that, some of them lose their menstrual cycle because of the way they're eating and depriving themselves. There's so many different issues that you have. Is it worth it? Like, so you can,
you're able to look good for the time being, but if you don't keep going with that journey, you don't follow the meal plan, you don't follow that journey by itself, you gain weight right away. Your body will not stay the same. It will not be the same. It will go back to what it's normally wants to be at. What's comfortable at.
And you know, that's a good point they made, because your body is meant to be at a specific weight.
Yeah.
So you can diet and you can lose the weight, but if your body's not meant to be at that weight, it's just going to keep going back. So if someone's like, oh, I've tried all the diets, I've tried so many, I've done keto, I've done Whole30, I've done high protein, but my body keeps going back. Well, maybe that's a sign. Maybe your body's saying, look, this is where I'm supposed to be at. Can we just
leave it? Why don't we just maintain it and be happy with where it is?
Yeah. Focus on like fueling your body with good things. Another one is, don't feel guilty about eating food. That was a huge one for me. That was like a huge weight lifted off my shoulders when I stopped feeling guilty about food. I used to, it's like, you know, you eat healthy all day.
Yeah.
And then your kids go to sleep at night and then you binge, right? And then why are you binging though? Because you didn't eat enough during the day.
That's
right. Your kids go to sleep, you binge, and then you berate yourself. You're like, oh, I just don't have enough willpower. And why am I eating so much food? You're like, okay, I'm going to start again tomorrow, or I'm going to start again on Monday. And it's this vicious cycle, right? Until you finally step off and you realize, because food is nothing to feel guilty about. Like literally, it's not. Why? You get a Krispy Kreme donut, eat it, enjoy it, like enjoy every single morsel of it, and then forget about it. You don't need to work it off. You don't need to you don't need to go for a run. You don't need to just enjoy it.
It's called balance.
Add a salad to your dinner and have more nutrition. Like it's
the balance of life.
Yes. Forget it. Guilt. If you stop food guilt, honestly, I can promise that you have a weight lifted off your shoulders.
I love that. There's days where I'm like, forget dinner. I'm going to have a chocolate bar and some chai.
I love that. Yeah, totally.
I've done that before.
And enjoy it. Never feel guilty. If you're going to have it, like enjoy each bite. Like life is about enjoyment as well as it is about health. Like it's not just all about health. Health is also in the mind too, not just the body. So
how you look, how you feel, everything that comes from the outside has to feel the way inside too.
Totally.
It's how we feel internally about ourselves will feel from outside. But if we're not happy from within ourselves, we're not going to feel happy within outside of ourselves. So I love that. I love everything you said. It's so beautiful. Like all these women need to listen to that. It makes my heart think, I don't need my six pack. Nishma, you're fine the way you are. Be the way you are, love yourself the way you are, and allow that process to be the person that you want to be. Just enjoy it.
You are so strong. Like every time I see your workouts, I was like, oh my God, like you have so much energy and so much pump. Like that last one that you posted on Instagram with that music, I was like, you go. Like that was amazing.
You know what's so funny? It's so true. And I'm going to just say it, even though it's not the topic, but when you look at someone's Instagram and you look at it, you're like, oh my gosh, she's so strong. Oh my gosh, she looks so good. Oh my gosh, she looks amazing. She's doing amazing. But when you talk to that person directly, it's like, what's really going on with them? You have no idea, right? For me, I am working out and I love to work out and I love to do the things that I love to do. But there's a part of me that says, I wish I was still smaller. I wish my tummy didn't have stretch marks. I wish that my arms were built and I had muscles everywhere. And, and I keep saying that to myself. And then there's days where I look at my body after my shower and I say, I love you. I love my body. I love the way it looks. I'm happy with my body. I was able to give birth to two of my beautiful girls. I'm able to be a mom today for a reason. And no matter where I am today in this world, I have accomplished a lot compared to where I was before. So I'm happy.
You really have. And don't be upset with that voice, because I have that voice too. Everything that I'm telling you, I still have that voice in my head. And you know what? I think it's going to be hard to ever completely get rid of that voice, because from birth, we have grown up in family, a culture that always values thinness,
yes,
over anything else. In our culture too, people comment on everyone's bodies. People are talking, oh, that person gained so much weight, or oh, they've lost weight, and people think it's okay to comment on your bodies and how much you eat. And we've grown up with that. Like at the age we are now, to even be where we are, to even think these positive things, I think that's such a win. But what I think this work is going to do is help our children not deal with toxic diet culture, not deal with body dysmorphia, not deal with thinking that thin is the only thing that matters. Us doing this work right now for ourselves is going to help our future generations, because I don't want them to go through what I've been going through my whole life.
You're right.
Good enough.
But there's days where I feel like I'm talking like my mom or my dad. When I was young, I used to always be told, oh, you're chubby or you're a healthy baby, like I used to be a lot bigger than a lot of girls out there. And now when my older one, when she eats her food or when she eats more than she's capable. Like I look at her, she's thin, she's happy with the way she is, but she wants more all the time. And I keep saying, no, I think you've eaten them a bit too much now. You're done. And I do it.
I know.
As a mother, we do it. Like, I think that's enough. I think you've eaten a lot already. You need to be more mindful of how much you're eating. How much are you eating? And then I realize that I'm doing it to them too, and I need to stop. So as mothers, I can see that some of us probably do it, not realizing it happens.
Yeah. But what you just said right now is so great, because even if you say it, but you realize, okay, I shouldn't be saying this, you can always next time not say it. Just even having the thought that you shouldn't say that is a huge step forward, because our families would never do that. They would never understand that. You know what I mean? The fact that you even think that, okay, I shouldn't say that, or I don't want to do this to my daughter. I think that's like a huge step.
Oh God, I think I need to make that change right away. Write it down. Don't say the things that were told to you when you were young. Try to remove that and change it completely to be more of a positive impact. Right. Salma, there'll be a lot of people out there. They'll say, hey, I want Salma to be my personal trainer. I want Salma I want to contact her. I want to go. You do a lot of challenges. You do a lot of workouts with people. Give me a little bit about what you do, like these challenges and how you put them together. So others, if they do want to come and find you, they can find you.
Okay. Well, I try and host like free challenges as much as I can. So I've done like if you go to my Instagram, which is, my handle is @Salma Dinani. I'm always hosting like free challenge, like a 7-day movement challenge, or a 5-day ab challenge. Like, so I try and do, and then sometimes one time I did a water challenge. So I try and do different things that are going to help you move your body, set healthy habits, that sort of thing. And then once in a while, I'll throw in, like I've been doing twice this year, a 28-day challenge, which is a paid one, but it's really reasonable. It's like $28 for 28 days. And you get a brand new workout every day in your email, right? So could be cardio, strength, abs, stretching, all of that. And everything is between 12 to 30 minutes. So it's really short.
Wow.
And I also feel like you don't have to work out for hours at a time to get the benefit. Like sometimes you just need to move for 12 minutes. Sometimes you just need to move for 20 minutes, and you're still giving your body and your mind the benefits of moving your body. So yeah, I just like to keep things simple and make people excited to move, right? Like I want them to feel good after they're done. I don't want them to be like, oh my God,
Yeah.
I can't do this anymore. Oh my God, like, what was this? I want it to be like, oh, I feel so energized. I feel so good. I feel so proud of myself that I accomplished this. So in the end, that's my goal. Whether I'm doing a challenge or whether I'm working out with someone, at the end, I just want them to feel really good, and I want them to want to do it again.
Yeah, I love that. There's a lot of people that do come and do your challenges with you, and they're so excited about it. I'm one of them. I do some of your challenges too. I love them. I haven't been really active on that yet, but I will get back on there. I promise. It's been a long, long journey.
Going on. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I love what you do and how you inspire women and just to be themselves. I love that, because every time I get back on your Instagram or I'm able to look at and see what you're doing, I'm just like, oh my God, Salma, I need that extra boost of motivation. And I get it. And when I do, I'm back to my life. I'm back to myself again. And that's why I have you here, because I want women to say, wow, I need that extra boost of inspiring, like a woman that's a mother that does it not just for herself, but the people that are around her. And when they go to your Instagram or your Facebook, they're just wowed, just like how I am. So I love it. I love it. So again, it's Instagram. Do you have a website that they can reach you at if there is any?
It's just www.salmadinani.com. And then on Facebook, you can just find me at Workout with Salma.
Perfect. I will put all of that information on the description so they have it. Again, I just want to say thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much for being here and being on the podcast. I hope everyone else had a really good time listening in to Salma, because she's amazing. If you do want to get a hold of her, please do. She's fabulous. She has a lot of workouts that she's already put together for a lot of women. And like myself, completely inspired by what she does. So please do get a hold of her, and make sure you also subscribe below if you do get a chance. And we will talk to you guys next week. Have a fabulous day, everyone.